Let's get ready. Let's hop on in, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 1.
We will see teams head to pretty familiar locations, majoritively across the board here, as we get a quick look and some of these wide cams. Of course, Bioweapon's going to be Fnatic's drop. We'll have, of course, their anchor stood out on the submarine. And for a lot of these squads now, quickly loot, quickly try and find a couple of fights. And Robstar is going to kick things off here in Saudi Arabia with a kill onto the squad out of Argentina. Goodbye being found in the feed.
Yeah, this is something that we knew, is that sort of this industries side is going to be free. But look at Control. We have this fight brewing. They know it. They love it. They want some more of it, baby. 100 Thieves gonna try and bring it to Movistar Koi. Now this is a little bit, if you're just tuning on in, par for the course what we see with this battle. It's usually one team tries to land below, another team likes to go ahead, try and take that roof, and then it's just all about who can get that first blood and start to move on forward. So for Movistar Koi, it's just gonna be about maybe trying to watch this zip line. Is anybody from 100 Thieves trying to maybe make a play? You got Go Clamp on the outside looking for the trade, and well, Blast, looks like he maybe extends just a little bit too much.
Yeah, Go Clamp catches him, so for all the talk we've said about how this battle usually goes, that's a position to be in if you are going to be the Movistar Koi roster. Skullface and Gabe trying to buy time here, just backing off, try and reset the fight, get Blast back in. Short timer at this period of the map, so it will come through, but you now lose Gabe as well, so Movistar profiting in these early fights, and well, make it a 2v1 for a moment, but reminder, just an opportunity for players to get back in, set things here, but
yes.
100 Thieves here being rolled off on by a different squad.
Yeah, this is going to be VKA, who's actually coming on through and looking to maybe get a little bit active, but Blast coming in from that resurgence. He's been able to find one, but he was not expecting to find Vidati and Kazu moving their way up the stairs. So for 100 Thieves, they might have to go ahead, back off this control right now, because when you have a duo moving on in like that, it's about to get spicy. This battle for control already surprising us here. It looks like we thought Gamax was going to be the team moving up from the boat. Nope, it is going to be VKA.
Yeah, plenty of differences in the look of this fight as opposed to just a few short days ago. Vidat going to be up top here. It's going to be the French trying to find a way to break in. Reminder, ladies and gentlemen, these guys weren't supposed to even be here, so every opportunity that they get is certainly one that they will aim to seize. We get a look over towards Prison. No surprise to anyone to find there's going to be multiple teams scrapping over this. This is CT Gaming up against Rock Esports. Right now, CT just going to hold the rooftop for now. We'll give them a look out over the lay of the land around them. To whether they can find a couple of freebies, but Rock have company. We'll find Prod picking up Marty, so it's all about finding the rest of the players as quickly as possible, but sticking nice and tight and together will be Extra J backed on down. You're going to get on the hunt.
Yeah, I think you need to fly on forward right now if you are Rock Esports. I think you want to try and get that team on out. Extra J maybe try to make his way on over to that buy station by Grandma's. Got to be careful, though, because it is going to be EVOS in that Grandma's house. They could cut you on down, but great finds right now from Rock Esports. I love that they're playing the roof of Prison right now, because they're going to be able to look towards that sky, and any of those players coming in from Resurgence, we've seen it time and time again, where it's just guns up, and as you go ahead, drop back in, try and get your feet on the map, guess what? You are taken on out yet again, and it could be some easy licks. I'm looking at that kill feed, though, Enigma, and it just seems everybody here in Game 1, they are not withholding the violence.
No, definitely not. Trying to make early statements. As said, we get a quick look at Dekiago. This is going to be, of course, Leviathan, who find Big Blood onto Twisted Minds, bully them away. We said that this fight was going to be huge. This Leviathan's roster have surprised everybody in Europe with how they've performed, stepping on through, smashing through the qualifiers, and dominate here to force Twisted Minds all the way up into Harbor. Definitely not what would have been in the script.
Yeah, we've seen Almond time and time again. He loves to push off this and go play towards that red roof side, so no surprise to see them back on over towards that Harbor area. You can see, thanks to our Codcaster, where they're going to go ahead and play on down below. Rock continuing to hold this rooftop at Prison as Wars, with a sniper in hand, is looking to get a little active. Now, this is something we've seen kind of evolve in Warzone over the last sort of month or two. Players are starting to realize, hey, having something like an HDR or a Frostline in your hands, even though it can't get you that one-shot potential that you're looking for, what you're going to do is try and get that crack. So, huge moments there, and well, for Leviathan, it looks like they are on the hunt for Twisted Minds.
They are indeed. Find Aydan for free, relatively swollen, as Eastmere are going to have to continue to punch north. The problem is they can't do that forever. They will eventually run into chemical engineering, which will have a member of the FaZe clan in it for now, but I mean, you don't want to get caught in a little bit of a pinch. We get a first look in with the Falcons, who've rotated in from Stronghold. They have already made it to Prison. They actually backed EVOS Esports down. You can see them chasing them already. Showstopper, Jawad. They're fleeing for their lives, and Shifty, well, he's not going to let them get away for long.
No, he's not. He already has 2 kills to his name, starting off very good. Showstopper going to go ahead, slide on out, maybe try and get a little bit of a free fire right now. Third player going to be flying on in, so if you can get boots on the ground, maybe grab a couple of guns and try and turn this fight into a 3v2, that could be a great way to cut on down the Falcons. Right into the Falcons, they get the sense that they don't want to overextend too much. An armor crack comes on through as those players drop on down towards the showers. If there's anything we know about Shifty, he is going to be the one to push on forward. Jawad just trying to stay alive here, and Shifty down below. He's fallen into the trap of Rock Esports. He's taken on down, and Vision puts down Diaz Biffle. We are on land, ladies and gentlemen. No ping diff here this time.
No, so many teams collapse into the same area, but with Rock Esports walking away with the majority of the kills on multiple teams as well. The only reason you survive if you are the Falcons, you get Soka finding a kill onto Alato and escaping through the backside, so they will have to reset over by headquarters, and Rock Esports continue to hunt. Vision has 4 already, a great start for the European team.
Yeah, you love to see this from Rock. It was through the EU quals. They were very slow on the first 4 maps, but then just absolutely went light speed on the back half to qualify their way here towards the Esports World Cup. And well, even though we casted it, I think what we're seeing here for everybody at home, it's exactly how they were able to do it. Prison allows you to look through so many of these different areas around the map and just hold it on down. Beautiful plays coming out of Rock, putting a thorn in the side of the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm seeing 3 on the board as well for Warz. That's 7 between 2. You could assume that they're up towards 10 kills already. And Warz punches a rifle shot straight through the chest of Vale. But by the way, keeping an eye on the feed off to the side here. Twisted Minds are still in the blender. Leviathan haven't left them to breathe for a second, hunting them down. Falcons aren't in a wonderful position either. Tucked inside Grandma's, waiting for Shifty to get back in here and desperately trying to rotate away. Let's find out exactly how they're going to make that happen with a listen-in.
Get those guns. I need to go back to the fucking roof so they can't just keep peeking you guys.
Oh, he's on the close corner. You're not going to be able to see him there. He's like right.
I know, but just me being here, you know what I mean? Keeps him there.
Yeah.
You guys can get an advance with my money that I dropped. And we can do the recon too.
He's on top. He's on top. He's literally on top prison. They might OE for this peak.
I'm climbing. I gotta climb. Hold on. I gotta climb. I'm literally about to be in the roof.
Corner. Yeah. Looking at me.
Top, buddy. Dead. I got one.
I'm gonna die. Get a third.
Got 2.
Nice. Yeah, but full.
Last one's over here. No. Last one's over there.
There you go.
I can't tell if he's first or not.
Up in the van.
They're on the roof. He can peek you from there.
Yeah, no.
Just stay away from him. Look, they still need one to spawn back, by the way. You heard?
Yeah, I'm popping in advance now.
I'm waiting. You guys should work this. We should work top prison, bro.
Yeah. I see him there. I can get guns right here. Just got land. Look over again. Look over.
Falcons comms looking good, showcasing how they're able to get to this point where Soka, even as the IGL, he's in the tower and he has 3 kills. However, they are getting a little bit surrounded by this EVOS roster that is here, but Robstar maybe gets a little bit too big for his britches. Cut on down, and Soka, well, Cypher 91 in hand. He's going to go ahead and get some of the shots in on Jawad.
And Showstopper gets knocked in the back as well, so Jawad's got to stay alive here. I don't know what the timer is on Robstar, but it can't be great for now. All the great work from EVOS potentially undone in that moment. But yeah, going back to that listening, so calm from the boys, despite them being in a horrible position. And speaking of which, Twisted Minds continue to suffer. Just 1 player left, and they're being surrounded by Lays, by Stukex, getting on the hunt. Smitty in a corner, and Lays finds it. Twisted Minds, the 3rd team to fall here. A Juggernaut slaughtered over towards the harbour side. This European squad are proving nice and early they're here to play.
I mean, it's only game number 1, folks, but already Leviathan, they've taken this fight many, many times, playing from Germany, playing against this team over in America, but here on land, things hit just a little bit different, and they might be the momentum they want for the rest of this group stage. So a huge win there. Not going to be really much action happening on that side of the map, but where the action is happening, well, look where its VKA is, over on the other side of the map. Glad to see 100 Thieves. They've managed to stabilize and looking to get maybe a little bit of revenge for that early game fight on the VKA. A couple of blast traps sitting on down will maybe stop them in their tracks. Blast moves on forward with the help of Skullface. Finds Kadzu, but Aydan is there for a fantastic trade. But you are down a player. You have to be careful about how you want to play this fight. Just barely misses a sniper shot coming by your dome, and well, you're playing in in and around these shipping containers, trying to lose not only the ire of 100 Thieves, but also the ire of Movistar Koi, who have managed to get back into control.
They have indeed. The one thing, if you are this French roster, if you can survive for long enough, that circle is going to move everybody out of this region, and even Movistar for control, so they would have had a moment to breathe, but never mind. Aydan will fall in the feed, and your gentleman will have to come back in elsewhere. A quick look at where everyone starts to set on up. It will be the CT Gaming roster approaching from industry side. They're going to roll across two different teams momentarily. Resolve trying to put a couple of shots in. The one problem I'm seeing here is no kills on the board.
Yes.
And, well, at this point, everything starts to get a little bit tighter. It becomes a little bit more difficult. If you are needing points at this stage of the map, you may be put into spots that could cause you problems. Soka will try and trade out on Shifty, who's knocked. Just trying to provide the coverage right now. Bax lays down. The nade misses. And Soka, he's worried about all the different angles here, looking to control this fight best he can.
I like that. Use the stim, get that regen back on up. Are you going to have the opportunity to stick this res? It's going to be very tough when Rock is just lurking on the other side. I don't know if they're going to hear this res come on through. No, they go ahead. They back on up just a little bit. Opportunity where they could activate and absolutely take down the Falcons, or at least bring them down to just a single player. Before Leviathan, even though we just watched a fantastic fight against the Twisted Minds, they're already getting thrown into the blender just to tad them out. A fight against the Falcons up towards prison. It's going to force them down below. You get some shots onto that team going into the well, and it's just not enough. So let's go ahead. Let's take a swim. Let's go for a little bit of a rotation on in. But I don't know, Enigma. I'm looking at this zone, and they still have to make their way all the way inland.
Yeah, this couldn't be a worse ball for Leviathan. It couldn't be much worse either when Fnatic are stood above you. Enxian will find one. That's going to be his 8th down so far. Likely the 8th kill. Involved in this as well are going to be CT Gaming. Enxian dives, potentially makes the wrong call, and what's that? Get over aggressive. Patsuka trying to help him out. Will jump in as well. What is this play that he made? Fnatic have sold, and somehow Leviathan have a player in this. CT Gaming going to continue to press, harass, but you've dove into the water, and you don't really have a route out of there. Lay's going to try and stand his ground for a moment. He's lost his teammates, and above him, one solo member of Fnatic will slip on by Zakar. For Lays, 11 kills on the board already is fantastic. You want that top 5 desperately.
Yeah, reminder folks, placement multipliers don't mean anything if you don't have the points to back them on up, and well, for Leviathan, it's already looking good. 100 Thieves trying to go ahead, hold out CT Gaming where they can. You lose Blast in the process. Skull, shots going across onto Lays. It is just a battle out here in the gas. Skull, he goes ahead, he turns, he burns, he's good for one. He finds Zakar. FaZe, they've decided to move on down 2. Can you bring down J-Tech? No, you cannot. 6 team eliminated. Going to be 100 Thieves. FaZe Clan, they've been able to come on down, but J-Tech trying to hit the ladder, gets found by Extra J. Last player alive for CT Gaming. Not going to be enough, but hey, guess what you did? You found one more kill, and you didn't even give that kill up to any other team in the lobby. Top 3.
Will be one member of the Falcons too, actually, as one dives out in towards the water. You've also got full team of Rock Esports ready for this final fight.
DS Biffle down below. You can see the teammates flying on in. If you see this, if you're Rock Esports, you might go ahead and try and move on forward. Soka on the outside. He's not going to be able to do it against Clumsy. Clumsy gets the knock on to Soka and is finding him. Shifty, he's been able to bring down Prodigy on the other side that's there. He's trying to be able to stay alive, but Clumsy finds a 2nd kill against the Falcons. He's still alive. It's just not enough. DS Biffle, he'll clean up the FaZe Clan, but it is a 1v2 now for here in game number 1. Vision going ahead, trying to play on this outside. Surges on forward. Snakes coming on through, but it's an LC-10 right into the face of DS Biffle. Rock Esports will take game number 1 of the group stages here at the Esports World Cup.
Beautiful play from Rock. Nice and early. They profited with so many kills in prison, and we've spoken about it for years at this point. You get those early kills, you can play for position, play for that moment.